Hi, Miles. A lot of guys on the team are banged up right now, you included. And given that, how much pressure is there to play when banged up and perform, period, to try to make up for the fact that you basically have no wide receivers at the moment and stuff like that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it is pressure. You got to think when you get in this league, it's a long season, so you got to take care of your body even when your body's feeling good. So especially all the starters, they know. Like I said, it's a long season, and if it's a difference between being injured and hurt. If you hurt, do whatever you got to do to make it to Sunday and give 110%. That's how I look at it. And that's all it is.
Chris and then Daniel.
Hey, Miles, just piggybacking off that just a little bit. I mean, it seems like Deuce has put a little bit more on your plate heading into this season, and now you find yourself in this position right now. How are you handling it mentally, and what are some of the things you can do to go ahead and make sure that you live up to that? You can handle that pressure.
Yeah. Mentally, I feel good. Especially in my second year, I know the playbook very well. Protection-wise, very well. Just at this point, I'm just trying to learn all the little stuff that I really need to know and remember in the offense, and I think I'll know the whole playbook. And it hasn't been any pressure really. Just staying locked in is my job, so I come in ready to work and get better every day. So,
Daniel and then Martin.
Hey, Miles, how are you feeling? You're on the injury report this week. Doug said you're good to go. But how do you feel with the glute and, overall some of the conditioning stuff you talked about before?
Yeah. I feel good. I feel great. Ready to go for Sunday night, prime time. I'm excited and just we want to get a dub this week. That's all that matters. I feel good, though, 100%.
Thank you.
Martin and then Tim.
Hey, Miles, did it take you a lot longer kind of to get into top physical shape, being that you missed just about all of preseason and also like a few days this week? I mean, how close are you to being, fully 100% condition-wise?
I feel 100%. Feel like it was the difference this week. Wasn't really getting gassed out there or tired as often. Like I said, I feel good, ready to go this week, and I think that's all that matters.
Tim and then John.
Miles, this is a similar skill position group as the one that you guys had success with down the stretch last season. What was it about that run that allowed you guys to have success? And, are you kind of leaning on that as you try to turn it around here?
Repeat that one more time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So the skill position group is very similar to the one that you guys had down the stretch last year when you rattled off 4 straight. What was the key to getting the offense humming with that group last year, and are you kind of leaning on that this week?
Practice, just grinding in practice and working in practice, getting extra work with Carson and the guys that stepping up from practice squad and stuff like that. Just grinding all week of practice, getting on the same page, the timing right and everything, and have 11 leaders like last year. I don't see any difference. It's next man up mentality over here.
John and then Zach.
Hey, Miles, you mentioned Sunday Night Football, a big stage, and if you look on the other side, Fred Warner has turned into one of the best linebackers in the NFL. Do you pay more attention, running back, linebacker, when a guy with his pedigree is sort of out there?
Yeah. Obviously, we see it on film. He can run. He's the one they utilize in pass coverage against the backs one-on-one. So, I'm up for any challenge. This is what we in the league for. You go against the best. I'm excited. So, I'm looking forward to this matchup.
Zach and then Mike.
Hey, Miles, with some young players, the team's reluctant to kind of put big expectations on them or talk them up. That hasn't been the case with you. They do really talk you up. Do you feel at this point you're one of kind of the faces of the team, faces of the franchise?
I think at this point I'm still young. I'm just trying to come in every day, ready to work, get better every day, and just try to lead by example. I'm trying to bring the juice every day and feed off other people. Like I said, I I just believe that I'm just willing to do whatever it takes to help this team get W's.
Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Miles, I know at your pro day you worked in the slot quite a bit with Trace, and then you've been outside at wide receiver. How comfortable are you going out as a wide receiver at this point in your NFL career?
I feel good. Definitely think I can definitely be better. Be better in all aspects as far as running, pass blocking, and receiving. But when they put me out there in the slot and as number one receiver, getting more and more comfortable. So I like it and just want to get better each week.
Any more questions for Miles? EJ, I see your hand. We'll end on this one.
Hey, Miles, was the glute injury related to the hamstring injury at all? Do you remember how you hurt it?
No, I don't know. I don't know if I got hit or anything, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But I feel good, though, and I'm ready to go.
Hey, John. First off, how are you feeling? And second of all, since you missed a little bit of time, how are you preparing still to take on the 49ers?
I'm feeling good and still preparing every day how I usually do, just making sure I got everything down packed.
Ed and then Dave.
Hi, John. 3 games into your pro career, what have you learned about the game? Any surprises you've seen? And just talk about that, the 3 games so far you've played.
Learn that game, it's a long game. So, you just got to take advantage of every opportunity that you get. And no surprises. Everything that I expected happened. So just got to move forward.
If I could just follow up, Darius Slay was saying something about the difference in the ball in college. They have a white stripe and it makes it easier to see, and the NFL doesn't have that. He said it took him a little while to get used to that. Is that something that you're finding as well?
Yeah, it's a different ball, but no, it's not really much of a difference for me.
Dave and then Martin.
Hey, John, it's obviously kind of a strange year that if you have any kind of sniffles or flu symptoms, you can't go to practice. What was the actual process like? Did you have to report that you weren't feeling well, and how does that whole thing go?
Yeah, I just told him that I wasn't feeling well, and I had to come in and still take the COVID test.
Martin and then Jeff.
Hey, John, so you guys have had a lot of injuries so far at wide receiver. What has that been like, especially for a guy like you trying to get more and more opportunities? I mean, have you been able to benefit from that? And what do you make about the situation as a whole?
Just got to, try to take care of your body as much as you can. And then everybody has the same mentality that, you just got to make sure you know what you're doing so that if your time comes, you'll be ready.
Jeff and then Daniel.
John, I asked you about a specific play in overtime of the last game. You guys were in Bengals territory. I think it was second down, and you ran a deep post, and the post safety vacated the middle, and it seemed like you had to step on the corner. Where were you in that progression? And did you guys? I'm watching that in film. Was that a pass that could have been thrown?
Not really sure where I was in the progression. But, if Carson felt like he was able to throw it, that's up to him. I just run my route to try to get open.
Daniel and then Mike.
John, we haven't gotten the chance to talk to you in a couple weeks. You made your NFL debut in your hometown. What was that experience like? And, what has it been like talking to, people from home during these first couple weeks of your career?
It was a great experience to, play my first NFL game and for it to be at home. And just talking to them about it is just, good to tell them that I'm doing good and out here having fun.
Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, John, there's a lot of former players that are around the organization, Sproles, Selleck, Avant, Connor Barwin. What have they kind of helped you with or at least offered advice to you about since you've been kind of in the mix?
Yeah, they definitely helped me out a lot. Always giving me pointers on how to get better or what I could do to, perfect my craft and everything. And I just feel like they play a big part in me getting better.
We'll take one more here with John McMullen.
Hey, John, in sort of that same kind of vein, what has Coach Moorhead done specifically for you guys, the young receivers, you and Quez, and obviously Jalen before he got injured? What kind of impact has he had on you?
Definitely has a great impact. I feel like he really locks in on the details to really help us get better, making sure that we know exactly where to line up and exactly what we got.
Hey, Cre'Von.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, so it just kind of seems like every year that you've been here, there's been a plethora of like cornerback injuries. At this point, does the room just kind of expect the next man up mentality before it even starts? And do you have to have that mentality going into a season, going into a week of practice every single week?
I mean, we all talented guys. However Jim draws it up for us, he considers us and looks at us all as X's. So wherever he need us to be on the field, I mean, you've seen it countless times, year after year. Or, it's kind of next man up mentality, and whenever your number's called, you got to go out there and put your best foot forward.
We'll go to Zach next.
Hey, Cre'Von, as a follow-up to that, when we spoke to you the last time, we asked you about playing on the outside. Since then, 2 outside corners have gone down. Is that a role you're ready for if they call on you?
34 always ready when his number's called. And whether that's inside or outside, I'll be ready to go.
Rube?
Hey, Craig, a hallmark of your career, even before you got here, has been, teams trying to replace you, teams cutting you, teams not believing in you. And every time you get on the field, you seem to make plays. How much has that kind of shaped your personality and your, you talk about the chip on your shoulder. How much has that kind of shaped who you are and just always having something to overcome that way?
Man, I've grown a lot as a player and as a man too also, and just knowing that the sky's always the limit for me. Nobody else can put that bottle cap on how far how high my wings can spread, So, I mean, again, it is a business. You can only control what you can control at the end of the day. And my biggest thing is every time my number call or, a team call on me to get a job done, I got to do everything in my power to get that job done. And whatever that role is, I got to be the best at that role, And, I mean, year in and year out, whether it's that role or whether it's valued or accepted or – I mean, I can't control that. I can just control what I can control and put my faith in God and just go out and accept the challenge.
We'll go to John McMullen next.
Hey, Craig. What has this week kind of been like for you? Zach talked about maybe having to play outside. You're also playing a team who could likely go to the backup quarterback, but maybe the starter's back. So you don't know from a preparation standpoint. So how much does that uncertainty affect you during the week?
It's definitely not any uncertainty. I would say, it's a lot of talented guys in the room, and we all have played multiple positions at one point of time in our career. And however Jim draws it up, whether he see me inside, outside, or whatever my role is, I'm ready for it. We practice it, and we'll be ready to go Sunday.
We'll go Ed and then Bo.
Hey, Craig. Obviously, George Kittle's a big part of winning this game, trying to contain him. How has playing against Zach in practice? I mean, has that helped you prepare at all for Kittle in the pass game? Would you say?
I mean, Zach. They're both phenomenal players. Similar body type, just run routes differently here and there, and definitely Zach. I just go get 2 releases off of Zach release just to feel a bigger body, or it don't necessarily have to be Zach. Like, I just normally do it on my own, whether it's Zach, whether it's D-Jack or Greg Ward or anybody I feel like I have to come across in a matchup or in just working my press period.
I definitely try to get a feel for it.
We'll go one more here with Bo.
Hey, Strap. Slay said the other day that it might be harder to get interceptions when you're in man coverage than zone. Do you think that's true?
He said it might be harder in man to get a pick than in zone.
Yeah, because you're not watching the quarterback quite as much.
Definitely. In zone, you can, your eyes are on the cue, you off the cue, you looking at 2 to 1. It's a lot of area that you'll have to cover. But in man, your eyes on your man, so you always seeing the blur of the ball in man. In zone, it's like, okay, you can see where the quarterback's shoulder is pointing or, what kind of routes he's looking for in zone, so to say.
Hey, Keem, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. So you come here and they sign you as a tight end. Take me through that process when they tell you that they have a plan for you to play tight end, and were you on board with that? Well, did it take any convincing?
Well, my agent kind of called me and let me know that the Eagles were interested in me at tight end. And from the moment that he called me, I was just excited to, get out there and be able to play. I'm going to my second year in the league and I haven't played a game yet. So, more than anything, I'm just ready to get on the field. And Mr. Roseman, how he called me in, he told me what they had planned for me and, where they envisioned me. And so, it didn't take much convincing just because, the Eagles is such a storied franchise and I'm ready to play, wherever that may be. I'll do whatever is asked of me, really.
Zach and then Mike K.
Hey, Hakeem, in the pre-draft process, were teams talking to you at all about converting to tight end? And also, the last time you weighed in, it was like 227 pounds. Is that still what you are, or have you added any muscle since then?
Pre-draft process, yeah, teams were asking me to be a tight end. I kind of, didn't want to do it back then, just ego and whatnot, just belief in myself. And I still have that 100%, but, I kind of shut it down after I ran a 4.4 and everybody thought I was going to run a 4.6, 4.7, but, we hushed all that noise. But, what was the other question? 227. Oh, yeah. I weigh about 228, 229 right now. That's just kind of what I've normally been at just for last season, even beginning of this season through camp. And so, it's just where I've been at, and it's just, I'm running well at it, so just keep it there.
Mike and then Bo.
Having not played until just now, you could be active this weekend and they're having wide receiver issues, but then they also have tight end depth issues. There's a really good chance that you could actually be on the field quite a bit. How much are you looking forward to that opportunity?
Like I said before, I'm ready to play. Like I need my catch. I need my first catch. I need my first touchdown. I know I could play in this league, and so the opportunity, wherever it may present itself, outside, inside, hand in the dirt, I'll take advantage of it whenever it comes, however many times it comes.
Bo and then Ruben Frank.
Sort of, along those lines, Hakeem, the way you're talking about, hushing the noise during the pre-draft process. You must still think of yourself as a receiver, right? Is it going to be hard to sort of change that wiring?
Not at all. From both positions, you got to get open no matter who's guarding you. And there's a lot of great safeties and linebackers in this league. And if that's who I'm matched up against, some people see it as mismatch. And I'm going to just do what I do.
What about sort of being on the inside? Are there the types of routes that you would run? Do you feel like those suit you well? What are your strengths as a route runner?
Well, if anyone's watched my tape from college, they would see. I played a lot of snaps on the inside. I ran all those third down choice routes, outs, ins, whatever it was that was asked of me, I would run it. And so, putting my hand in the dirt or being split out and running those same routes, I don't think it'll be an issue whatsoever.
Rube and then Ed Kratz.
Yeah, just wondering if there's a point. There's a lot of really effective, productive players that are kind of, hybrid receiver, tight end type guys who have your build. Was there a point where you kind of, saw that as you said you were kind of resistant to tight end at first, but when you look at the possibilities of how you could contribute in the right system, was there a point where it kind of struck you that, hey, I can use this as a positive and it's not a negative?
I mean, yeah, I kind of think of everything positively as of late. And so, seeing it, like you said, there's a lot of people that have been productive in that hybrid position. I mean, I feel like I can be productive from either or, but, on the inside now, I mean, I'm definitely ready to make that move. And I've seen guys like Darren Waller and, a bunch of guys, like even that just make that transition and do work on the inside on the safeties and linebackers. So, I mean, I'm ready to do that same thing, take that next step.
We'll take two more with Ed and then Zach.
Hey, Hakeem, I know that there is the possibility you could play this weekend, but are you ready to play? I mean, the playbook, you really just kind of got yourself immersed into it. Do you feel like you'd be ready to play? And who has kind of taken you under their wing? Has it been Ertz, Deshaun Jackson? I mean, which are the, who, the tight end or the receiver?
I mean, there's just been a lot of people all in the building that's just accepted me and have just tried to help me from Ertz. Talked to Alshon. I've talked to a few people, and everyone's willing to help here. I mean, everyone wants to win, and so, whatever that takes here. And I mean, if I'm actually play this weekend, that's what I'll do. Y'all see what I can do.
How often have you been in the playbook? Have you been studying the playbook pretty hard these last few days?
Every night since I got it.
Last one here with Zach.
Hey, Hakeem, what happened in Arizona? I mean, obviously you had the hand injury last year, but were you surprised they moved on so quickly?
Well, when it comes to Arizona, I mean, that's the past, and I'm very thankful for them drafting me and just, calling my name and giving me this chance to even, chase my dream and get into the NFL. And so, they got me here. It didn't work out, whatever happened. But, I mean, I'm thankful for all the guys there. I still got love for Arizona and Coach Cliff and everybody there, and I wish them nothing but the best. But, I mean, I'm an Eagle now, and that's kind of what I'm focused on.
Hey, Deontay, how much did last year's experience kind of help you with the playbook coming into training camp? And then once you got adjusted in training camp, having this time on the practice squad to kind of stay in the motions before you got called up again?
Yeah, it's helped me a lot, because I can go back to last year and just remember some of the plays as long as I continue to just study and work hard and just go over my craft and the playbook. So it's definitely helped me a lot.
Rube and then Dave.
Unless there's a roster move we don't know about, I think you're still on the practice squad technically. What's life like kind of going back and forth? You got to play in the game and then back to the practice squad. I don't know if they're going to activate you, for the second one-day activation or if they're going to promote you to the 53. What's it like being in that kind of limbo, practicing and being on the practice squad and maybe being on the team?
I look at it as an opportunity, and this has been a definitely a different year, and I feel like everybody on the team has to prepare like they're a starter because you never know when your opportunity is going to come. So for me, it's been like I've been a starter, but I just continue to prepare just so I'll be ready when my number is called.
Dave and then Bo.
Hey, Deontay, we haven't talked to you since training camp. You had a really good camp. I mean, were you kind of surprised that you didn't make the initial roster?
I wouldn't look at it as that. I'm here with the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm getting opportunities, and I'm just staying the course. Whether that's practice squad, whether that's being on the 53-man roster, whatever they want me to do, that's what I'm here for.
Bo and then Zach.
Sort of along those lines, Deontay, they brought in, a couple rookies, I guess 3 rookies. They had signed another veteran all while you were still here. As you watch those transactions happen, what's going through your mind? And then, do you sort of take pride in the fact that you were able to prove that you belong, you deserve to be here just as much as everybody else?
When I seen that, I just decided to work harder, and that definitely helped me this training camp. Always have a chip on my shoulder, but those guys they're helping me along the way too. Just realizing what type of talent they have, and they're a bunch of good guys. So it all worked out for the better.
Zach and then Chris.
Hey, Deontay, can you explain what Tuesdays and Saturdays are like this year when the team determines who they're going to protect from the practice squad and then who they're going to call up?
Like I said earlier, it's just a process, and whatever that process is, that's what I'm going to do. So I just have in my mind that just to stay ready.
Chris and then Mike.
Hey, Deontay, with so many injuries that are going on in that wide receiver room, I mean, what's it like going inside there when it comes to the mentality of it, and how the vets helping you guys out?
They're just telling us to keep making plays, keep being in our books, and they're helping us along the way. But this is a special room. This is a good room, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Go ahead, Mike.
Deontay, I know you're only 22, but you've been in the league now for 3 years. You're one of the more experienced guys in the room. How much have you tried to kind of help the rookies and I guess the second-year guys in kind of adjusting to the NFL?
We all help each other out, whether that's with plays, techniques. But I try to give as much advice as I could, But I'm still not quite there to be talking like I'm a veteran or anything. But it's definitely a good room where we all give each other advice.
We'll take one more here with Martin.
Hey, Deontay, you were on the field quite a bit, obviously, in the fourth quarter and overtime against the Bengals. What was that like for you? And, what do you think that kind of tells you about how they feel about you?
They definitely showed me that they trust me out there, and, they gave me an opportunity, and I'm very thankful for that. And, just try to continue to improve each week so whenever my number is called, I could be ready for that situation.